Super Mario 64 was arguably an instant classic upon its release. Sure, maybe it hasn't aged too well, but I feel that its role in gaming history has changed to kind of be more like an NES title. Sure, maybe it doesn't look too good, but it truly displays the groundwork for solid control and game design. With the introduction of the Nintendo GameCube, us Nintendo fans were anticipating the new, cutting-edge Mario game. I'm Kevin, and welcome to RantTrigger. This is Super Mario 64 versus Super Mario Sunshine.
Introducing Super Mario Sunshine, the standalone Mario platformer for the Nintendo GameCube. Mario and Peach are on a vacation to the Isle of Delfino, and we have our new companion, Flood, with sweet cutting-edge pre-rendered cutscenes and voice actors. Wait, what? Voice actors?
Excuse me, but...
This, and the other additions I just mentioned, were the major complaints upon this game's release. But I feel that these are not even worth complaining about. Sure, Isle Delfino and all the newly created enemies and characters seem kind of out of place compared to the already cemented icons of the series, but does that even affect the gameplay? Flood, while being vastly different from, not having Flood or equivalent, does show creativity and adds a new dimension to the game mechanics and general level design. The pre-rendered cutscenes did feel out of place since Mario games aren't supposed to be too bogged down with story, but they were trying their best and the voice acting fits well. Kind of reminds me of a Sonic SAT-AM level of maturity. Yeah, I'm explaining Mario with Sonic. I don't know. Despite me defending the common gripes with this game, I still feel that this game is being considerably overrated, almost more than Super Mario 64 these days. My nostalgia glasses are coming off. This will be my honest thoughts on why Super Mario Sunshine isn't as good as Super Mario 64. Isn't that weird? I kind of told you my thesis already. You like this idea? It's kind of cool for a versus style video. You have a comment. My biggest problem with Super Mario Sunshine is the inherent game feel that most games should have, a feeling of accomplishment and direction. Super Mario 64 did an excellent job because the game was so bare bones in design. Ooh, look, a big door. I wonder how I get in there. 11 stars, you say? Okay, let's go get 'em. Super Mario Sunshine is, well, what do you do in that game? The game only tells you to return all the shine sprites to the shine gate. Simple enough, but how do we know we're progressing? How much do we need? After you collect your first couple of shines in Bianco Hills, which the game guided you to and that was well done, you get a little intro to where the next level is. No, okay, do I continue doing Bianco Hills or do I go and examine the new pile of goo that probably hides another level? How do I know I'm progressing? Should I just move on, or is getting all the shines in every world important? Nothing is explained to you, verbally or otherwise. For those of you who don't know, to defeat Bowser in this game, you need to defeat Shadow Mario on Mission 7 of every world. Wait, hold on a minute. Isn't something missing here? What about the shine sprites? That was the only thing the game ever taught us about. You mean to tell me that they're not even important? Flashback to 2002. A young Kevin just bought Super Mario Sunshine. Jockeying between playing it at home and playing with a friend, they continually tried to progress through the game by helping each other collect the shines. They went as far as copying the game data from one another to get the shines that the other one had. Little did we know that every shine in Delfino Plaza, every Mission 8, Secret Mission, Blue Coin, and the like were completely useless. I'd also like to add that this also confused us when we got to the final boss. We jotted it in our heads that the random number of shines we had was the number we needed to beat the game, which again, could have been way off. Now, I can admit, I like that it makes the player play every world, but there's only 7 of them, half of the original 15 from Super Mario 64, and out of the 10 shines available in each world, only 7 are required, excluding some sequence breaks. That makes the total shines needed to beat the game a low ball of 50, you get an extra one from the opening scene. That means that 70 shine sprites are not even needed to complete the game. In Super Mario 64, you needed 70 stars, which although still means that you can completely avoid some levels entirely, you can get any star and you'll be making the same level of progress. For a new player finding a toad and he's all, "Hello, I found a star," you would be like,
Yes, I found one!
But in Sunshine, those don't even matter. I feel that if you're going to give the game some sort of hub world and level selection mechanic, every single collectible should be somewhat useful, no? This is my biggest gripe. You can argue that the hub world shines in Sunshine are only used to 100% the game, similar to Super Mario 64's last 50. But at least every single time you play 64, you can go about beating the game how you want. Why do you think that they brought back the collect X number of stars design in Galaxy and Galaxy 2? All this being said, Sunshine seems like it ran out of fuel halfway through, like they went back and started writing in many shines because apparently 120 shines is the industry standard all of a sudden. Every single Floodless mission, which, by the way, every world has at least one, has a secret mission that involves doing it again with Flood and collecting 8 red coins. It's okay, but that's more than 7 times you do something similar, and you'll already know where the hidden shine sprite is. I admit, Super Mario 64 had repeated ideas, Koopa the Quick, Big Boo, and even in Galaxy with the Cosmic Mario races, but these weren't expected in every level, and it's not like there was a hidden mission coincided with them. Even the 100 coin missions in Sunshine were a pain in the ass. Yes, it is a collectathon, but at least in 64, most of the coins were grouped together, and the red and blue coins counted for 2 and 5 regular coins respectively. Sunshine makes it so that every enemy needs to be handled in a special way to gain more coins, and every coin feels hidden and thus feels like a gigantic waste of time. If you complain about 64's 100 coin missions, Sunshine's are exceedingly worse. Flood eventually starts to get repetitive too. Some levels don't even require her, and if anything, it makes the game easier to pick up and play, less punishing with the hover nozzle. 64 at least brought a level of difficulty similar to that of the original Super Mario Bros. Games. The controls never change, nor add new design elements to it so extreme that it's different. So any challenge is made with the already cemented controls. In Sunshine, they add weird gimmicks such as controlling lily pads and boats with the Flood, which isn't something that is taught throughout the game, nor is apparent enough to feel like an actual game mechanic. Any challenge you actually have with it really comes from the fact that you haven't learned how to do it, because you haven't done it enough. In 64, if you have something challenging, it's because that you still haven't mastered some of the controls, such as wall jumping and stuff. Sunshine's hard missions stem from unmastered game controls because they don't do it enough, so you don't have any practice. Super Mario 64, you can actually feel accomplished when you do the hard levels because you're not fiddling with some weird mechanics, you're still trying to master them because they leave room for mastery because they're rough around the edges, and I frankly really like that. Sunshine just tried too hard to be different and frankly took a lot away from what made 64 good. They tried to keep similar design elements, but made certain poor decisions and changed the game in such a way that the hereditary mechanics were hurting the game in the first place. If Sunshine had less shines, sure, it would have been shorter, but it wouldn't have felt so slapped together and repetitive in some places. Some of the ideas were really well done, but just not perfected. They tried too hard to dynamically change the old formula, which is why the galaxies were designed so much closer to 64.
Alright, I'm done. Those are my big gripes with Super Mario Sunshine that I feel make it inferior to Super Mario 64. That's not to say that Sunshine is a bad game, don't get me wrong. But I just don't understand why people put this game on a pedestal over Super Mario 64. Yes, people are allowed to their opinions, and I understand that, and the game can just be inherently fun, and I understand that. I just don't see it with this game. Super Mario Sunshine is fun, but I just feel that it's not as well designed as 64, and I don't see how you can have more fun with 64 or Sunshine as you can with 64. Leave a comment on my argument, please, and I'll have some back and forth with you guys. It'd be a lot of fun. If you like this video, please hit the like button. I'm a new channel that has helped me out a lot. If you really, really like this video, go hit that share button and go share it on Facebook and Twitter and whatever the heck people are using these days. And if you want to hear about me more and maybe get some shoutouts from me, if you have some really good comments, follow me on Twitter at RantTrigger. And if you guys are really really liked it and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try to put out a video once every week or two. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled. See ya.